Hey everyone, I'm Maddy Price, Duke alum for undergraduate in 2018 and then came to Fuqua for the MMS program in 2019. I am a two-time Olympian in Tokyo and then also in Paris in the women's 4x400 meter relay. I'm so excited to be here today with you all to answer some questions from the community. So let's get started. What was the biggest surprise about being an Olympian? Kind of a two-part answer. I think one is financially. A lot of people don't really realize that the Olympics doesn't pay you. Our federations give us some support, but not a lot. And so most Olympians, especially in some of the Olympic sports that aren't in a league, let's say like basketball, end up going into a lot of debt. And so the financial side is definitely a piece of being an Olympian. And then I think the other piece is that Olympians are just regular people. I think the media, as a little kid, I always thought they were like these superheroes, unattainable, unreachable. But at the end of the day, we're all just humans that have achieved these like really big dreams and these things that we've been working for a long time. But at the end of the day, we're just normal people. How did your Olympic experience differ between the COVID Games in Tokyo and the first post-COVID Games in Paris? The biggest thing was friends and family. So in Tokyo, no friends and family, no one in the stands, empty crowd, not a lot of that Olympic energy. And in Paris, we had like 80,000 people in the stands. A lot of my friends and a lot of my family was able to be there to support. So I think really feeling that Olympic energy was really special. And then also for me, I was able to compete in Tokyo on the track. We got 4th place. And then in Paris, unfortunately, I wasn't selected to run. We have 7 girls and only 4 run in the 4x4. So that was a big difference as well. But I think that Olympic energy post-COVID was really special. What was it like balancing grad school with training and meets compared to your undergrad experience? I think taking ownership over my own schedule, the meets that I was going to run in, creating a team around me of trainers and massage therapists and PTs, whereas when I was a student athlete at Duke, all of that is taken care of for you. So I think being in grad school while also then being my first pro year on the track was definitely a challenge, but something where I really learned to take ownership of my own schedule, my own goals, whether that was school and then also outside of track. Who was your favorite Fuqua professor? I would have to say Professor Nance. I loved his energy. I really loved doing public speaking and the presentations and classes that we had with him. So I would definitely say Professor Nance. What was the hardest MMS class that you had? Oh, goodness. I would say financial accounting or anything on the accounting, like finance side. I was not a like quantitative weapon like so many of the other people at Fuqua can be. So it was really cool to kind of push myself in those classes as hard as they were. I didn't really come from too much of a quantitative background in my undergrad studies at Duke. What did you like most about Fuqua? I know it's the kind of cliche / motto of Fuqua, but the team aspect and the team Fuqua part of it, having people from all over the world, so many different countries, working together, learning from each other, and just kind of collaborating on different projects and getting to hang out outside of the classroom, I think was my favorite piece of Fuqua. A lot of like the experiences, and I know the retreat that we did earlier on in the year was so fun. That was something that will always stick with me. After 5 years at Duke, what's your favorite off-campus takeout? It's almost been 10 years living in Durham now, so there's been multiple of my favorites over time. But a couple of my go-to are Bonds on 9th Street. On Wednesdays and Saturdays, they have Vietnamese specials. So I really love their sticky rice. It's always so good. And then just a classic Mo Nuts and Happy and Hale. Can get a really good sandwich and donut there, and then just like a healthy, quick bowl as well. I will just add my favorite other restaurants are M Sushi and Mothers and Sons, just for more of a sit-down vibe. Did you keep the gold Olympic phone, or was that just for your time in Paris? I actually brought it with me today, so I definitely still have it, the little flip phone. They gave us a cool case that has the rings on it as well. I don't use it because I have my iPhone, and it's something, I've used my iPhone forever, but it's something I want to give to my cousin or to my grandma who doesn't have a phone right now, so it'd be easy to kind of communicate her with a cell phone instead of a landline. So pretty cool. Which country had the best Olympic team swag? An unbiased opinion, I think Canada had the best. We had a Lululemon kit, which was amazing, really good quality material, also really easy to like move and train in as well. Some of the other kits that I really liked were the French team kit was really cool. They did an amazing closing ceremonies look that had the French Olympic team logo on the back of a really cool kind of bomber jacket. So I thought theirs was awesome as well. But Lululemon Team Canada, I think, takes the cake. Which events did you get to attend when you weren't practicing or competing in Paris? Unfortunately, I didn't get to see any other events when I was there other than the track. They changed the way that athletes get to see other different sporting events, and so it was really challenging to get tickets. Most of them were sold out. And then also because track is the last week of the games, we were really focused on competing and weren't trying to go out into Paris and kind of tire the legs out and tire our energy out as well. So we're really kind of focused on that. In LA 2028, they're planning on flipping it. So track is on the first week. So we would be done after the first week of the Olympics and could hopefully go see other events. But we'll see if I make it to 2028 and see how the body and the mind's feeling. Take it year by year. What advice do you have for undergrad student athletes who are considering attending Fuqua while still competing? I think just being really clear about your goals, whether that's for school, for Fuqua, and then also for competing. I luckily had an upperclassman named Steve Solomon, who was also an Olympian, who went through the MMS program before me and really sat me down and said, okay, what are your goals on the track this year? What are your goals in Fuqua this year? And how can we kind of make those work together? And there's, of course, going to be times where track might take priority or Fuqua might take priority, but it's just being clear about what those decisions are for you and being really intentional about your energy as well. I was really happy to do the FCCP program at Fuqua, but it definitely took a lot out of me and I was able to kind of complete it, but then afterward focus on track into the summer and make my first World Championships team at the end of 2019 at Fuqua. What is your cookout order? I love the cookout milkshakes. So when I go to cookout, it's just always a milkshake. Usually banana peanut butter because they use real peanut butter, real bananas. It always hits. And then or like a chocolate and Oreo, but usually banana peanut butter. Were the chocolate muffins really as good as advertised? I think they were. They were super rich. They almost were more of a cake than a muffin. And it was so fun to see everyone in the village kind of come together and chat about it and do different reviews of how good the muffins tasted. We even got to meet the Muffin Man, who is a Norwegian swimmer who made probably about 40 to 50 TikToks about how good these muffins were. So we met him in the dining hall, said, "Are you the Muffin Man?" He was like, "Yes, I'm the Muffin Man," and ended up having a muffin with him and chatting with him. So it was a fun way to kind of like unify all of us in the village. And I know everyone at home was really curious about how good the muffins were. So they were pretty good.